Welcome and welcome back, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. This just into the Gala newsroom. That's right, big announcement just released by the Clash of Clans team. I'm just going to read the release first like a newscaster, and then we will switch over to editorial mode. Hey Chiefs, we want to bring to your attention a change we will implement to the Traders Raid Metal Shop. We will be introducing a limit on how many resources can be purchased weekly from the trader using raid metals. Starting next week, it will only be possible to buy one instance of each resource per week using raid metals. This change applies to home, village, and builder base resources and will not affect magic items. This change is necessary to maintain the longevity of our content and a balanced and engaging gaming experience for everyone, and we thank you for your understanding. Clash on. So what does this mean, fellow fans of Clash of Clans? Well, yes, it's true. Raid weekends have been nerfed. Now, you'll notice if you're in an average clan, you're probably receiving somewhere around 1,000 to maybe 1,400 raid medals each weekend. I'll show you a couple of results from the 3 clans that I participate here on the lower right corner of your screen as we talk about this. So now suddenly with those raid medals, you can only make one purchase of each resource type per week. So technically you could still purchase about 10 million in resources or refill some of your potions or even buy cosmetic improvements and of course the critical wall rings, which would most likely take more than the raid medals you got in the previous week, unless your clan is really excelling, because that would cost 1,500 raid medals. So it's still technically going to be likely that you can spend your entire allocation. It's just you can no longer spend your entire allocation on just gold. If you picked up 1,200 raid medals, you used to be able to pick up 10 million gold or elixir, and it could definitely help accelerate your advancement through the game. And the message that we're getting here, getting all of that gold or elixir or dark elixir for a raid weekend reward is somehow throwing off the economy. Now, what it could be doing, and this is just a guess, is it could be allowing players to advance to the next town hall more quickly because players were stalled on a certain resource and they're able to pick up a ton of it really quickly through raid weekends. That could be a problem because that may be a time where players are more active and they want to keep those players active. Now, personally, what do I think about this idea of this change that is coming to the game? I think this is a great idea. Of course not. No, I think this is a terrible idea. But I understand why it's happening, okay? I can see the problem. We can't be privy to all of the calculations that the Clash of Clans team can look at. Apparently, the economy has just been flooded with resources, and this is possibly going to pose a long-term problem for the game. So even though I don't like this change, and I really would rather not see it implemented, I can understand, and I guess I have to trust Supercell in the long term. I mean, they have been at this for over 10 years, that they know what they're doing, and this is going to result in a more balanced Clash economy and a more consistently active player base that should in turn make Clash of Clans continue to be successful over the next 10 years. And that's what we can only hope for. So putting our trust into the Clash of Clans team, perhaps this is a great idea after all, but for the average Clasher, and especially for the passionate Clasher, because I personally have about, 37, 38 Clash of Clans accounts, this is a severe inconvenience. I mean, you guys know that I raid on 30 plus accounts every weekend because I know it's going to get me around 10 million in resources for a minimal amount of effort. Now, of course, 10 million in resources, how much more raiding is that with sneaky goblins? It's maybe another 30 minutes or so, because yes, obviously farming is extremely efficient these days. So I'm kind of bummed out because I am a raid weekend clan capital specialist enthusiast. I have been enjoying it a lot over here, and to see those rewards get nerfed like this is disappointing. But I can tell you that since first reading this announcement, I have cooled off. I'll admit, I was pretty hot under the collar when I first saw this. And now I'm kind of like, okay, I understand. It's not going to be that big of a deal. It's only a game. right? And those of us that want to be indignant and upset about this should probably chill out. And here's the thing, there's always going to be this something I call the vocal minority, and you'll see it on social media. You used to see it on the forums, and it's probably a big part of why the Clash of Clans forums have permanently been closed. But okay, so yes, there are going to be some that are extremely upset about this. They're going to tell you to boycott raid weekends. They're going to tell you to delete Clash of Clans, to throw your iPad out the window, to crush your Samsung tablet. No, but seriously, yes, some people will be over the top upset about this, and hopefully they'll calm down. And you know, I wanted to be at first. I thought about it, and for a few seconds I was ready to put together an episode of complete and utter rage. And then my senses came back to me, and I realized that we're playing a mobile game. And also, wasn't it just a few months ago that Clan Capital was added to the game, right? You didn't even have these resources, these rewards before, and now you have them. So it's tough to really sincerely complain about these type of changes. So I'm just going to take it in stride and say, hey, I understand, and we have to trust, because obviously the other thing is, think about all of the progression of how much faster you can get through Clash of Clans, the game, town halls, you know, those mid-range town halls, 6 through 12. It's so much faster to get through those town halls than it used to be, because they want players to get to the higher end of the game. And perhaps they just revved things up just a little bit too much, and you know, they're just gonna tighten it a little bit, tighten the economy. Think about this as like the Clash of Clans Fed, and they are just going to raise interest rates a bit, try to slow things down, because you Clashers are just too good at upgrading your Town Hall 14s and 15s. So when it's all said and done, I'm still pretty happy about raid weekends. I enjoy it. It is a variety of content. I'm having fun, and I'm still using, as you've seen for the last 7 minutes or so, Hog Raiders and Minions and a couple of Battle Rams. In fact, I tell you what, let's go ahead and we'll switch gears as soon as this raid is over, and we'll go and we'll just one more, I really want to put out one more quick reminder of the strategy over here. If you need a really simple, easy to carry out strategy that doesn't take much brain work, here you go, okay? But yes, so this change is coming, and for those players that have multiple Clash accounts, it is going to multiply the penalty. And obviously for me, I should be complaining loudest of all, because there's probably very few players who have 30 plus accounts. And if you do, and you're not a content creator, what are you doing with your life? Okay, but that's beside the point. Okay, so that's the news. Let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of strategy and how I seem to be picking up 30,000 plus on my main account every weekend. You'll notice that a lot of what I do is I set up with another account. Now, this isn't really cherry picking. I'm not sandbagging. I'm going in with a second raid like you see here, and having a lot of success with the Graveyard Spell, the Hog Raiders, and a couple of Battle Rams. You need those Battle Rams because you want to be able to open up those walls, because you also would like to ideally be able to drop the Hog Raiders as accurately and as closely to the defenses as possible. Remember, it drops a glider, but it also drops 2 regular hogs, and they got to run to their target. The glider, yes, you want to try to chain stun key defenses, and that means get in there, drop some every few seconds, watch for those high hit point, big defenses like blast bows. If you can, chain stun them, keep them from destroying massive groups of your units. Then the minions come in behind and clear out other buildings once the air targeting defenses are out of the way. And there you have it. The Graveyard Spells also work well to tank with those little skeletons, and you're going to see a lot of success. So overall, I'm still having a blast with raid weekends, and that is the news as we see it here. So thank you, Galafam, for watching all the way to the end of today's episode. Now get out there and make the best of the rest of your day, week, month, and year. Be kind to other people, animals, and the planet, and I'll see you all back here again tomorrow for more Full Attacks. Now enjoy the epic outro music.
Galadon, I couldn't speak. The music was perfectly timed with the animation. How did you do that, man? That was amazing. I'm going to go watch it again. So good.